Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something really cool, a learning framework called FEMALab. And it's all about shaking up how we learn tricky subjects, like artificial intelligence. So let's be honest, is learning about artificial intelligence intimidating? I mean, diving into AI can feel pretty overwhelming. It often seems like this world that's just for experts, full of complex code and theories that go right over your head. If you've ever felt that, well, you're definitely not alone. But it doesn't have to be that way. Seriously, what if there was a completely different approach? One that takes learning from this lonely struggle and turns it into a shared, creative adventure. Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into. All right, Section 1, a new way to learn. So to really get why a new approach is such a big deal, we've got to look at the problem it's trying to fix first. And here's the challenge, right? AI education is so often isolating, theoretical, and just rigid. You know the feeling? You're trying to learn a new tech skill, and it's just you, a textbook, or maybe some online course. It can be a really lonely road with no one to bounce ideas off of. It's this one-size-fits-all structure that just doesn't work for a lot of us. Okay, so Section 2, what is the FEMALab? Well, that lonely, rigid path we just talked about, that is exactly what FamilyLab was created to blow up. It offers a really fresh, innovative answer to all those problems. So here's the definition. FamiLab is a learning framework for collaborative and co-creative learning. It was actually born from an Erasmus Plus project. And what's so smart about it is that it's not just one thing. It's a mix of already proven methods. It takes the open, sharing vibe of working out loud, the adaptability of Agile, and the focused step-by-step progress from Scrum, and mashes them all together to create something totally new for learners. The whole thing is built on three main building blocks, or Bausteine as they're called. You've got the FemiLab events, which is where all the action happens. Then you've got the learning helpers. Think of these as your toolkit. And finally, your commitments, which are basically the promises you make to yourself and to the rest of the group. All right, Section 3, inside a FemYLab event. So let's get into the nitty-gritty. What does it actually feel like to be in one of these things? Let's walk through what a typical session looks like. Okay, so a typical lab session is a 4-hour block, and it's structured for, maximum effect. First, you start with the learning impulse. That's a 1-hour input from an expert on a specific AI topic. After that, you move into learning circles for an hour. This is where you connect with your small peer group and share what's going on. And then the last 2 hours are for free learning. This is your time to work on your own goals, but you're not alone. You're doing it in this really supportive space with everyone else. And at the heart of it all is this simple question: what do I want to learn by the next event? The real magic of those learning circles is just how simple they are. It's all about checking in with your group, asking things like, what did I get done since we last met? What am I stuck on? And what's my goal for next time? It's this super simple routine that builds accountability and creates this amazing natural support system. Section 4, your personal AI toolkit. Now that peer support is obviously huge, but you're not just left to figure it all out on your own. Nope. The FemAI gives you this awesome set of tools. They call them learning helpers to help you along your personal journey. The main tool here is the Learning Journey Canvas. Just think of it like your own personal map. It's this one spot, could be on paper, could be digital, whatever works, where you lay out your big goal, break it down into smaller, manageable tasks, and jot down all your key learnings. And the best part, it's totally dynamic. You can change it and adapt it as you learn. And this slide really shows the difference in learning support. The traditional way, you get some static guides, you're searching all by yourself, and it's a whole lot of trial and error. But the FemiLab way is completely different. It's all about having a personalized AI buddy, using coaching methods, and of course, those peer support circles. It's a whole ecosystem. So let's meet Femalia, your AI buddy. And look, this is not just some generic chatbot. This thing is a customized assistant that knows the entire FemiLab guide inside and out. It gets the AI topics and tools, it helps you set and track your goals, and it uses coaching methods to guide you. It can even browse the internet for you. It's like having a personal coach right in your pocket. All right, Section 5, from concept to community. So we've got the events, we've got the tools, but how does this all actually work in the real world? Well, the whole point of this framework is to build real, living communities. And you can see here, this isn't just a theory on paper. We've got two real-world examples. For instance, the Wiesbaden pilot was a fixed 10-week cycle. You had to commit to showing up every week. But then you have the Zukunftswerk lab, which was a totally open drop-in model. You could just come whenever you can. Both use spontaneous groups, but for different audiences. It just goes to show how flexible this model really is. Now, the success of these communities, whether they're fixed or drop-in, really hinges on a few key promises. And the first commitment is this: I commit to my individual learning goal. It all starts with you. You decide what you want to learn and what you want to accomplish. But your own goal is just the starting line. The second commitment is where it gets collaborative. I commit to my learning circle and to learning in community. This is huge. It means you're not just there for yourself. You're committing to showing up for your group, sharing what you're doing, and helping them out too. And the third commitment really brings it all home. I commit to my own responsibility for my learning journey. This is so powerful. It puts you, the learner, completely in charge. You own your progress. You own your outcomes. You're in the driver's seat. Okay, Section 6, the future of learning. So when you step back and look at all these pieces, the events, the tools, the commitments, what does it all really mean? Let's zoom out for a second. The FEM AI Lab philosophy is really about balance. You might think, okay, this is all about learning AI skills, but that's only about 30% of it. Another 30% is about the personal skills you pick up along the way, things like self-organization. But the biggest chunk, 40%, is the learning format itself. It's all about how you learn, collaboratively, together. And that's really the bottom line here. It's more than just learning AI. It's about learning how to learn in this crazy connected world we live in. It's a blueprint for learning pretty much anything and for building the skills in the community you need to just keep on learning. So it leaves us with this final thought. What if learning was always this collaborative? Just imagine for a second if all education was built on this kind of teamwork, this personal ownership, and this amazing community support. What kinds of problems could be solved then?